Sweet Christmas.
Harlem's about control. Power.
Politics is where the power is.
It's gangsters like me that let you hold on to what you got.
You never really know what anyone is capable of. There is nothing that can hurt you. So what the hell are you afraid of?
I made you up. You a slave to a page in my rhyme book. Getting big money, playboy, your time's up. With them gangsters.
I'm gonna take his rooks, his knights, his queen. You want some?
We got another Netflix Marvel series, so guess what that meant for me? It was a weekend of binging. And as with most of the Marvel Network series, this show starts off with a bang, and it doesn't really let up the entire show. There's a lot going on, and there's a lot of things I liked about this show, and there's also a lot of things I didn't like about this show, and I'm going to go into it. I'm not going to go into spoilers except for one part that I do want to talk about, and I'll say when I'm going to do that so that you can skip it if you don't want to be spoiled. But overall, Luke Cage is a very different. There are parts of it that feel like Daredevil and Jessica Jones, but for the most part, it definitely has its own feel. It takes place in Harlem. It's got that hip-hop gangster feel. The whole city, that's one of the good things about this. It really makes you feel like you're in Harlem. I'm pretty sure this was shot in Harlem. And it just makes it feel really realistic. Another thing I really liked was the action scenes, the fight choreography. Luke Cage is a brawler, so his fights, he's not doing flips and stuff like Daredevil. He's got more of a Jessica Jones kind of feel to it. He is just a brawler. When he just throws guys around, he punches, he's got a little boxing in him, and the fight scenes though are so well done, and there are a lot of them. This season is packed full of awesome fight scenes, especially the ones at the beginning when you're not used to everything that's going down. They are incredible. One particular scene involving a couch, oh, it was awesome. As far as Luke Cage and all his different relationships with different people, I enjoyed most of them for the most part. And I love the music, I love the setting, I loved the fight choreography. Like I said, I pretty much liked all the characters except for one, which we're going to talk about here in a second. And I did like the overall feel of the show. Now let's talk about a few of the negatives. I did have a few. Like most Marvel shows, they tease connections to the overall MCU, which I'm fine with. But when you have these other shows, and I know we're leading up to the Defenders, we have these other shows, they tease several times like, oh, Jessica Jones might pop in, or oh, Daredevil might show up. And it never happens. No one ever shows up. It would have been cool, even if it was just for like a quick cameo or, you know, a little 5-minute scene, if either Jessica Jones or Daredevil or even Iron Fist from later on could show up. That would have been a cool little Easter egg, but we don't really get any of that. The main character that comes along from the other shows is the doctor or the nurse, played by Rosario Dawson, and she is in this a lot, and she does feel more at home in this series. More than even Daredevil, where she spends a lot of time in that series too. But so that's probably one of my negatives, is we don't ever get, you know, a little glimpse of other people. But hopefully when we get to the Defenders, it's going to be awesome. So that's not a big deal. Now here's where I'm going to go into a little spoiler for a second. It's not going to be a big spoiler or anything, but I'll do this when I'm done. There's 3 or 4 villains in this show, but basically the first 6 episodes, the main villain is Cottonmouth and his cousin. Then there's this mysterious evil guy called Diamondback that ends up coming in later on. Now, something happens in the middle and kind of power shifts. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. And what I don't like is I did not like the Diamondback character, and he becomes the main focus. Pretty much from 7 through 13, and I feel like once Cottonmouth is kind of dethroned from power, and you know, Cottonmouth is a weak villain, and I don't mean like weak like I didn't like him, he didn't have a whole lot of strength, and Luke Cage kind of pushes him around. I felt like he was the better villain, because once we got into Diamondback's story, oh my gosh, he just was not a smart villain. He was so over the top and so crazy. And I get it, you know, bad guys are crazy, but he's not even like a smart crazy. Like if you take Joker, you know, he's crazy, but at least he has like a method to his madness. Diamondback is just a whiny little baby and just so stupid. And then there's Diamondback has this weapon at the end, like the very last episode, that I hated it. I hated the brawl between them two at the end too. It felt like as soon as Diamondback was the main focus, it really started downhill for me. I just didn't like him as a character. I didn't like that the whole reason that all the stuff that's going on is because of him, and he felt whiny to me. I just didn't like him, and so that was a major downfall for the series for me. Alright, now that'll be the end of the spoilers. Here we go. Another thing I thought was kind of crappy, you know, Luke Cage is pretty much immortal, so they keep introducing these weird ways to make him not immortal. One way worked, one way didn't, I didn't think. And then, you know, it definitely has a political kind of tinge to it towards the end. They kept kind of beating you over your head with it, and I was like, okay, come on, we get it. But, you know, other than all that, I'm going to say it is a good show. But as far as Marvel Netflix shows, I felt like this was the weaker than Daredevil for sure. And then even Jessica Jones, I kind of liked a little bit more than this. I know people were going to be crazy, call me crazy about this, but I kind of like Jessica Jones a little more because just think of everything that Jessica Jones goes through at the end of that show, and her everything she has to do to finally take down the bad guy at the end. In this one, it's just a stupid like boxing match. The end of it was just very anticlimactic. But they did set up a few things for the next season, and I can't wait to see them all team up in Defenders. That's going to be awesome. And as far as Luke Cage as a character goes, I really did like him, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes later on into further seasons. So overall, I enjoyed the show. I'm just saying it was kind of the weaker for me, and it kind of really drops off once we get into Diamondback territory. But who knows? Maybe you'll think differently. As far as the first season as a whole, I'm going to give Luke Cage Season 1 a 3.5 out of 5. Looks like Iron Fist is next. Can't wait. If you like this video, click that like button. If you want to keep up to date on all my videos, click this glorious subscribe belly button. If you want to see my last few videos, click over here. This has been a Randy Cage production. Peace out.